everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Amigos podcast. This is Gila.
I'm Josh.
I'm Juve.
And today we have a guest. I know.
Who could it be?
It's our first guest. We're very excited. We're here to welcome
The Pope.
My first.
The Pope. No, we're here to welcome
Mi papa.
No, not that either. We're here to welcome Misa L,
I was
our
close.
good
Hey.
friend. Welcome.
Hello.
How do you
I
know
feel
us?
like I feel like people might be confused when they hear my voice.
That's true.
And then when they hear who's voice,
That's very true.
they're not gonna know who's coming.
Yours is going to be lower.
You think
Yeah,
so?
Wait,
you've
I
got
say
to
that now
drop
and
your
we
voice
sound
on
the
octave.
same.
Hello.
And you drop your voice, you raise your voice. You lift it up.
Okay.
That's
This
good.
is
Perfect.
Juve.
Oh, now you sound like Gila. Wait, dang it.
You're right, dang it. I
Okay.
could maybe go
Here's
I'll
what-
meet in the middle.
deeper.
Okay, I'll harmonize with both of y'all so everyone gets confused.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Hey.
That's not harmonizing, Josh.
What?
You keep doing both. You
Anyway.
have to just do one.
Anyway.
Welcome, Misa, to the Movie Amigos podcast. I hope we don't intimidate you, but we're glad to have you.
Thank you for having me. It was definitely a surprise.
Oh, this is last minute, yeah.
This
You're
was
welcome.
definitely.
But yeah, he's just so
you know-
passionate about Mulan. He had to join us.
Yes.
You know, I always knew that I would be in an episode. I did not
this one.
in a million years think that it would be for a Mulan episode, but life has worked its way.
That's
Yes.
the way the rice.
Yeah,
Crumble?
the cookie
get-
crumble has crumbled.
But
But
you
I feel
said
honored.
rice.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having me, guys.
Awesome. We're very excited. Yeah, it was very last minute, but you know what? This is how we do things here.
You
And this is
bet.
what we get the best things.
Mhm.
So as
It's gonna be raw.
You like that?
I have a question. Would you consider yourself a Lumpi?
What is a lumpi?
You are our Lumpi. Oh, that's right. You haven't heard our last episode.
Well,
You'll find out soon enough.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
just for
We did
the
just-
viewer or the viewers.
I did just post it yesterday.
The
It was
listeners
posted
out
yesterday,
there.
so.
Want to make it very clear. I've been slacking just the last 2 weeks. Okay, but
with
normally
episodes?
Don't even worry about it.
I'm like
The Lumpi
on
reference
the episode
just-
the day it comes out. So you
But
know.
just super quick, so people can get to know you a little bit. Any favorite movies? Quick favorite movies you want to watch? Favorite types of movies, or something you want to mention? Real, just so people get your taste or an idea of where you're at.
Interstellar.
That's all you
Oh,
like?
okay.
Is that all
Nice.
you
Okay.
see?
I'm just kidding. Interstellar is my favorite all-time movie
Oh,
of
cool.
all time.
Nice.
And it's weird because I like action. I don't watch anything that's not action.
Mm-hmm.
But Interstellar, obviously I do. But what I mean is Interstellar is not one of those, jam-packed action. It's more of I don't even know. It's more like an adventure. I guess it's an
Yeah,
adventure,
it is.
scientific space movie. It doesn't meet the normal favorites of mine. I think one of my close seconds would be Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Okay, cool.
I've watched that movie 1,000 times.
Mhm.
That's my favorite Marvel movie, but also just it stands on its own. I think it's just great. I think
Cool,
that movie is
cool.
great. I love superhero movies.
Mhm.
I always, I do put my child goggles on
Mhm.
for a lot of superhero movies. As in, I will take away the things that are bad just because there's some person flying around with superpowers.
Mhm.
A lot of killing spy movies, Mission Impossible. I love Mission Impossible, 007.
Yeah.
Those are my kind of, but it's just weird that my favorite all time wouldn't be one of those superhero movies.
Mhm.
It ended up being Interstellar
Yeah.
because it blew my mind.
Mhm.
I've watched it a lot of times now, and every time I watch it, I feel like I love it more.
That's great.
It doesn't get less.
Awesome. And that's a
Yeah.
unique pick. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and that kind of shows the beauty of cinema, that once you find something that you really love, it doesn't have to be what you like constantly,
Mhm.
but you just love it, and
Yeah.
and you can enjoy it every single time. So I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah, and I
Thank
like
you.
that we can disagree.
And yeah,
Kidding.
we've all known each other for several years, so he's an amigo as well, if not a lumpi.
Yes.
He
Did you
is
say
a love
he's an amigo?
Mhm.
It's a weird
An amigo?
it's a weird relationship that I have with you guys, because we were all obviously I'm Hua's brother,
Mm-hmm.
and then you guys. I've known you guys for a long time. I met Josh
longer
in
than
middle
me.
school,
Mm-hmm.
and Hilo in high school. Huve, I met him when I was born.
Yeah.
And then I'm also. It's just weird because I am your pastor, but it doesn't. I don't know.
Preach it.
It doesn't
Amen.
feel that way. It doesn't feel that way. Like, I don't know if this is how it's supposed to feel like.
I don't know.
We're getting into
Wait.
a different.
Yeah, but
different
right now,
conversation.
you guys are my superiors right now.
What?
What?
This
What?
isn't about authority.
Because you
Yes,
guys-
we are.
No,
We are all
because-
friends. You're just our spiritual leader.
No. What I mean is, right now you're my superior in this podcast because you know 1,000 times more about movies.
I don't know
movies.
about
Than
Oh,
you
no,
guys.
I don't
You
think
guys
so.
are the
No,
authority
not
in
at-
movies
no,
compared to
not
me.
at
We
all.
are
I know
average
nothing.
Joes.
I'm just
except
here because
Josh.
I'm the only reason I'm here tonight or today or
Whenever you're
why did I
listening.
say it? It's because whenever you're listening this evening, the morning, it's because I told Josh, hey, I'll bring food over your apartment, and he was like, great. I was gonna watch Mulan, and I was like, I'll watch it with you. That's why I'm here right now.
Yeah, that's how
Okay.
it worked out. Yeah.
And-
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
so,
Well, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
We're glad to have you. And as spoken, our pick today is Mulan. And more
Yes.
specifically, it's my pick.
You bet.
I was very excited to watch Mulan. So yes,
Mhm.
I guess I'll get started.
Yeah,
'cause
why
it's
did you
my
pick it?
Okay, guys, let me get settled. The reason
Mhm.
I picked this movie was, when you're growing up and it's like you're just being introduced to cartoons and movies.
Right.
Okay, this was my movie growing up. I
Okay.
watched this movie all day, every day, constantly.
Right.
Like I watched it so much, my VHS scratched,
Oh man.
and now I.
Yeah,
My-
those get worn once if you
Mhm.
watch
Yeah.
it a lot. They
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
worn.
they get worn. So then now whenever I watch this movie or listen to that song Reflection, that
Mhm.
one scene where she's walking through the water,
Mhm.
in my mind I automatically hear the scratch of the VHS.
Oh wow.
Like that's how
wow.
much I watched this movie
That's
because
awesome.
I loved Mulan.
Mhm.
I grew up with watching her, and
Man,
That's-
you're old.
I know. I am.
Just kidding.
So I decided to pick it because I was like, I was gonna pick The Prestige.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That was one of my
That would be nice.
picks, which I love that movie. But I was like, no, I feel like we haven't done a animated that isn't like Japanese
Yeah,
anime.
yeah.
And I was like, and you know what? Mulan's great.
That's cool. I love that
So
you picked it. Yeah.
I picked it. It's just a very nostalgic pick,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it just makes me happy.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it fits very nicely with the catalog of what we've reviewed
Yeah.
so far.
So I think it's
And
good.
yeah, I feel like most of us have a soft spot for Mulan, and I mean Disney movies of that era for sure.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. So I was very excited to watch this movie
Mhm.
for sure. So
Yeah, and I mean it's it's popular and beloved for a reason. Absolutely.
yeah, and I think that the thing for me too, which I thought was cool, like I watched this last week. You guys watched it way recently than me. I watched it last week, and I actually watched it in Spanish because
wow.
I watched it with my mom and my sister, kind of like as a Mother's Day celebration. We got pizza
That's
and like
sweet.
snacks, and then we watched Mulan. But then my sister's like, "Wait, it's in English. This sounds weird. I don't like it."
So
Because
the VHS was in Spanish?
yes,
Okay.
because I was in Mexico.
Oh,
So then,
cool,
because
cool.
this movie came out in '98, she
Yeah.
was born in '97. So when this movie came out and I got in VHS, she grew up listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
So then she's like, I guess she's never seen it in English.
That's
I-
really funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she's
Probably
like,
not.
this is weird. I don't like it. So we switched it in Spanish and we watched it in Spanish. And it made it even better.
Nice. That's
Okay.
really
It was
sweet.
just
So you saw
nice.
it in Spanish?
Yeah, I
We
did.
saw it in English.
Yes.
Mhm.
We
It's
saw
okay.
two completely different movies.
Yes.
Just
No,
kidding.
I've seen Mulan plenty of times. And I watched it in Spanish too.
Cool.
How does the Eddie Murphy voice sound in Spanish?
It's Eugenio Derbez. So
Oh,
For real?
interesting. That's great.
yeah.
That's
good.
awesome.
That's
So-
a
Wow,
really
great
great
casting.
counterpart for like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's also a
absolutely.
comedian. He's
So
funny.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
and I don't know, it was really good. And honestly, haven't watched Mulan in English not that long ago, and then rewatching it in Spanish.
Mhm.
It's a pretty decent adaptation. There's a couple things that I'm like,
Oh, with the translation?
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like, there's a couple things that I'm like, it's a little bit different, but it still catches the tone
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and the sense of
yeah.
it. So I'm like, that's not terrible.
Yeah, that's great. Usually Disney's really good with that.
Yeah, so it was really good.
Was this your first time watching it in English?
You mean in Spanish?
No, she said she'd watch it
I've seen it in
She's watched
English.
it in English before.
And
Oh,
I
okay.
hadn't
Now
seen
her
it
sister.
I hadn't seen it in Spanish since I watched it in Mexico though.
Okay. Okay,
Until
I see.
now.
Right.
So I knew the whole thing. I was like, I know every
That's
lyric.
cool.
It was really nice. It was cool. But yeah, I guess we can get started with our. I mean, the whole thing is my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm extremely
that's
biased.
Great. Yeah.
I have some things I might not like fully, but it's
Sure.
fine. But I guess we can start with our favorite parts.
Yeah,
so.
I wanted to say that the wow, what the heck? Let's get down to business. Be a man. What? I can't even think. My brain just shut down completely.
Reflection?
I think no, no. The training montage
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah.
in the movie, I think this might be a controversial statement. I think it's one of the greatest montages ever.
Wow.
I
Why would that be
loved it.
controversial?
I mean, there's a lot of really good montages.
I guess.
I
Like
think
in
it is
Rocky.
a good montage,
Yeah.
but I have my
Oh, really?
I have my
What are your
Ooh.
issues with it?
and it's just how it fits into the story
Uh-huh.
or like the context of the movie. I mean, we were gonna talk about favorite parts, but I'm already.
But sure,
getting to it.
yeah, that's
No,
that's
I
fine.
mean-
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I like the movie,
Mhm.
but you were just mentioning that specifically, so I wanted to.
Yeah,
add
yeah,
when I
that's
thought
good,
about
yeah.
it. So for me, it was just the passage of time.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't conveyed very well because in the montage, at half of it they're learning, they're like really bad, they have no
mhm.
skills, so they all need to improve,
Mm-hmm.
and then like immediately they
Mhm.
improve like
Yeah.
100%. It's right after Mulan, she gets up on the pole
Right.
and she gets whatever she needs to get. What
The
is it?
arrow.
The arrow.
Mhm.
And so yeah, everyone just becomes an expert right away,
Mm-hmm.
and that's completely fine. It's a cartoon, okay,
Mhm.
but for me
No,
it's just
that's
like
how it works in real life, man.
right. So
Yeah,
So-
I mean,
It's inspiration.
for me, yeah, they got inspired by Mulan.
I
Is-
see.
is
So
what-
they all
is what the
became
montage is
experts
saying.
right away. So when they were shooting the arrows, they couldn't even get one.
Uh-huh.
And then once Mulan got up and got the arrow, everyone could shoot 4 arrows at the
But
same
for,
time.
for me, the most important thing was like the messaging of the song, where it's
And that's
like,
completely fine. And
Yeah.
I like the montage. I'm just letting you know
We
the
should title
negative
this
part of it.
Hube hates montages.
Hube? Wow, I didn't know you
Ooh.
hated montages.
No, I
All
don't hate
montages in movie.
What? No, Rocky.
You're like, wow, the acceleration of time? That's so weird.
So it was
I'm
like,
sorry. You know what?
bye.
I take it back.
I'm just
Mulan
teasing
has
you.
the best. I know you're
I'm
kidding me.
just
I
teasing
No,
know
you.
you're kidding me.
obviously
I-
it's opinion, and hey, I
Mhm.
mean, I kind of get where Hube is coming from, but I
Mhm.
also get where Josh is coming from.
For me, I'm on the total opposite,
Mhm.
and because the way that the lyrics of the song itself is like has a double meaning, because it's like be a man, like like strengthen your like train and like have the work ethic or whatever he wants to imply with that. But for Mulan, it literally means like perform, like act like you're a man. And there's so many lines that have like that double meaning, like, did they send me daughters? And then the ironic thing is that they did. Like so many moments like that I give it a lot of credit, and it still elevates the story so that the payoff when they accept Mulan finally is like more and more valid. Because throughout the entire movie, including in that song, they're like, you're not a little girl. And it's like, okay, but Mulan is a girl. So
Yeah,
I really
I
like
see
that
what you
part.
mean.
Okay.
And I also do know where Hube is coming from. I feel like as an adult watching this movie, as much as I love it, I do see where Hube is coming from with that.
Mhm.
Like, the passage of time
It's
doesn't
just a nitpick,
necessarily right, but
Mhm.
it doesn't fully make sense, because then it's like they don't know anything, then they know everything, then they go to war. Boom, like
Mhm.
boom, 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 and that is a little quick, but obviously it's a kids movie.
Do you
so.
have a favorite part?
Did I write down a favorite part? Yeah, when I didn't write it down, but I remember watching the movie
Mhm.
when the Huns are on the hill, on the snowy hill,
Yeah,
and they're coming down towards the
towards the troops. Towards
the troops.
Yeah, yeah.
That looked great. I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah,
awesome. And then
absolutely.
having what's his name? What's the bad guy's name? Shen Yen, something.
I don't.
He was coming
remember.
down in front of everyone, and then the whole
Yeah, and then you could just
Hun
hear the
army.
music.
yeah,
Bro, that was.
they're all
Shan
coming
Yu.
down. What is it?
Shan Yu.
Shen Yu coming down. That was,
Yeah, that was
That part was
really,
awesome.
really epic. Really properly epic.
and then I could already see, because okay, this is the first time I watched this Mulan. from beginning to end.
Okay.
Because I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I never watched it as a complete view. So I
Mhm.
knew most of the story and everything.
Really?
But this is the first time
Oh,
I actually
wow.
watched it from beginning to end
Mhm.
altogether. But before I watched this, I first saw the live action Mulan
Oh.
my
before,
God.
and that is atrocious.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah. So I have my gripes with, there's something I actually really like about the animated Mulan
Mhm.
a lot more than I like about the live action is.
Yeah, I was
horrendous.
mentioning this to Misael yesterday. The live action Mulan took a big fat turd on
Yeah.
this original
Yeah, it did. Yeah, yeah.
Mulan.
Yeah.
Like, I was so upset.
Which, speaking of Be a Man, I like that in the original Mulan, the animated one,
Mhm.
she has no skills and she has to improve on or
Right,
gain
yeah,
whatever skills
yeah,
she has
you're
to
right,
gain.
you're right.
In the live action Mulan, she's already
She's
a
doing
god.
backflips off of the
Yes,
She's
she is a
three-story
god.
roof. Yeah, yeah.
She can do everything.
As a kid,
and so it's
yeah.
like it's a hidden talent, and she's
Right, it's her
she was
chi or
born with
whatever.
godlike
Uh-huh.
skills.
Mhm.
It's
It
in
works
this
a
one,
lot
she
better,
actually had
yeah.
to earn it and work hard at it,
Mhm.
which is why for me the Be a Man montage was like, okay,
Mm.
at least give me a
Yeah.
passage of time. Was it a few months?
Mhm.
Okay, then I would, because it felt like it
Right,
was
yeah,
the same
and
day.
you don't see the
That was the
seasons
only
change
gripe
or
I had.
anything. Yeah.
But that's what I like about this
Mm.
animated Mulan,
That's
comparing
cool,
it to
that's
the
cool.
live action.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think as a little young girl at like 5 or however old I was when this came out, I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I can do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Yeah, yeah,
really
exactly.
Obviously,
great.
I can't.
Because it shows
But
that she was
in my
clumsy
mind,
and
I was
she,
Yeah,
like,
you know,
oh
yeah,
my
you're right,
gosh,
you're
like
right.
she really went for it. Like
Yeah.
that's awesome. Like I can do that.
Mhm.
Unlike now,
That's
I-
so good to
darn,
hear.
I'm not special, right? Because with the live action, it's like it kind of
Yeah.
takes that away.
Yeah.
Sadly. So,
Uh-huh.
but anyway. So your favorite part was
that scene,
The
that
battle on the
scene with the
mountain,
battle
where
on the
they're
yeah,
mountain.
and then Mulan shoots the snow, and
What about
That was awesome.
What about you,
Pat?
You have a favorite moment in Mulan?
Yes. But you guys took away the ones that.
Oh, really?
No, you
So
can
I'm
go
gonna
for
mention
it.
just,
something
just
else.
reiterate.
It's
No,
fine if
I
it's your
refuse.
favorite. Okay.
Okay.
I think you guys know I'm an emotional person.
Yes.
So
We know.
I think that in the end, when she presented the
Mhm.
medal and
Mhm.
everything to
sword.
her dad,
Yeah.
and he was like, he threw it on the ground. It was like, oh, that's he was like, that means nothing. Spoiler alert.
Right. Yeah. For Mulan.
That means nothing more than like having my daughter home.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Even though in the real life, a good backhand smack.
Oh my
I'm just
God.
I'm kidding.
Well,
Obviously,
Mulan would
obviously,
take
if
you
the
out if you tried to
emperor-
smack her.
He's Chinese, so
obviously, if the emperor would have honored her, then she wouldn't have been in trouble.
Right,
like,
yeah,
So
yeah.
but that one was a nice moment.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, obviously, like I think everyone's favorite is gonna be like the montage one, and then the snowy, the one where like the whole army is at the
Yeah.
edge.
But there's a lot of really good moments. Though.
Actually, my favorite part, even though it's the whole movie, it's when
Uh-huh.
she walks into the camp for the first time.
You know
Where
what?
she was
Oh,
like,
into the camp?
lift
Yeah,
up
yeah.
your chin, like
Yeah,
walk in a
uh-huh.
weird way, and then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
one,
yeah,
and then
that
she
was
looks
really
terrible in full armor. She has no idea what she's
Mhm.
doing, and then she's just looking at all these men being super gross and disgusting, and I'm like, this is how men are like. So in my mind, I was like, see, guys are weird together every time. They're weird. They shower together.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Mhm.
It
But
remind
women
me-
do as well.
I mean,
Double
but
standard.
I've never. We guys don't shower together.
What? Yeah, we have.
according to
What?
Top Gun, you guys do.
What?
I-
I've never done that
As
in
in,
my
like
life.
in the locker room.
Oh yeah, I never experienced that,
Oh, I did that a lot.
and never will I.
I think what she means is that it's a thing that happens.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But what
they
I'm saying
always
is,
do
it
that.
also happens with women.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
like here's the thing though.
Why is it
I was
weird with guys?
offended. I was. Let's bring this up.
Okay.
I was offended as a man.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I've never spit on the ground. I don't spit loogies. I don't burp all of a sudden like
Okay.
a crazy maniac.
All right.
You know,
Okay.
I don't like have competitions where I kick my friends, in the, like we don't do that. I don't know. I just feel like where
What about all
the
the
men
times
in that
that-
movie were like disgusting, bro. I was watching that,
Oh, I see.
and I was because
Yeah.
I'm a clean person, man.
Here's the thing.
I take like 3 showers a day, and they're each like an hour long.
That's a lot of
And
water.
Okay.
like I never burp unless I'm by myself.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever
Okay,
heard you
you're a
burp.
woman.
be
'Cause
a
most-
woman.
Most guys do exactly.
And
what
the thing
they
is,
did in the
when
movie.
there's no girls around, it's
Yeah.
a different
Oh,
Because
picture.
there's
yeah.
no women
Yeah, yeah.
around.
Also,
I
if it's
think that's
hundreds
what it
of
is.
guys,
yeah.
it's a different. It's
And
a
it's
different
not that
picture.
they're going into the military. Not that that's an excuse, but at that point, it's like, you know, what are we gonna do? We're in tents.
Mhm.
What you gonna do?
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly. Yeah, they
But-
are like that. Like how they are in the movie.
But to get
Yeah.
back to what you were saying
Oh,
about when
yeah.
she arrives,
When she arrives, I just thought it was really funny because it's like she just gets thrown in there, and
Mhm.
Mushu is no help.
dude,
He is no help
that
at
was
all.
so. His commentary, his
Got
additions
you. It's
were so
good.
funny.
He's like, slap them. They like that. They
yes,
don't.
yes. He slaps him on the butt, pushes him into the other guy.
They're like, yeah, and it's just really funny to me because I'm like, she really is trying. She has no idea what she's doing,
Yeah.
and Mushu is no help. Like it goes from bad to worse
Yeah.
in like a second.
That
and
moment
it's
where
amazing.
everyone's knocked down in the line, and they all look at her,
Yup.
and they all get up. You see her in the background. She's like,
She's like,
"Hey
"I'm sorry,
guys," when she's
guys,
backing
hey."
away. That for me was 10 out of 10 comedy.
Yeah,
That was so
it's
funny
really
for me.
funny. And then like, the conversation up front, it's like really serious.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we're
exactly.
gonna meet, we're gonna fight the Huns, and in the
Yeah.
background you see Mulan trying not
Hey
to
guys,
be killed.
yeah, that was
That's
great.
probably my favorite scene, just because it's like it kind of brings to light everything that she has to literally. She has to pull this off, or she will die.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
the juxtaposition between the seriousness of
Yeah.
the war and like him being like, I'm the commander of the best soldiers, and then walking out and everyone's just throwing haymakers and
Yeah.
super messy and
That was
whatever.
really funny.
And it's just bad, and
Mhm.
everybody's like, good luck, bro.
Yeah. Speaking of juxtaposition, what do you guys think about the musical number "A Girl Was Fighting For"?
Yeah, when they
right
walk into
when
the,
they make it to like the burned.
Oof.
I thought that was
Village.
for me it was very effective.
That was one of
It
my
was very
favorites too.
effective.
Like it's haunting, because it
Yeah.
doesn't just it just cuts off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like,
A
oh,
girl worth fighting, and then you could
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, that was actually in that moment. Me and Josh, like Josh was like we were joking around while we were watching it, and Josh was like in the middle of saying something funny. So we were like while they were messing around in the movie,
Yeah.
we were also messing around.
yeah.
And then like it was like what they did in the movie because I forgot that was I didn't even like
Yeah.
when whatever the men plus Mulan did in the movie
Uh-huh.
as like a form of shock, we also had that experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
It was actually it was very well done. Very well done.
Yeah.
And even just like the color in the
Mhm.
screen,
Yeah.
like everything, the way that it all just played,
Mhm.
it was very, very it was sad. It was definitely
Mhm.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a sudden switch in tone, and it was done in a way that you're like, wow, like it's war, right?
Mhm.
And even for a child's film, you get what's in there. You don't have to see blood. You don't have to see a dead body. But
Mhm.
just by seeing a doll and a helmet, it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And like Misa said, the different colors, just everything, the tone changed completely.
Mhm.
And it's not like it was like, oh, that was a little weird. Like, and that was perfectly done and perfectly timed, and it was edited the right way. And
Mhm.
I think that was when I rewatched it, that was the time where I was like, man, this movie's a lot better than I remembered.
Nice. That's cool.
So I thought that was really cool.
Mhm.
What's it called? I think this movie, and I think Misa mentioning the father, right? Her relationship with her father.
Mhm.
I haven't seen the live action, but I've heard things.
Mhm.
And I think that her relationship with, and that's why I haven't seen it, because
Yeah,
I know I
don't.
will be, as you guys know how much
Triggered.
this movie means to
Mhm.
me.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to.
And the fact that they charged $30 for it.
I didn't
Oh,
watch
yeah.
full price for that.
Oh my
I would
God.
never.
I forgot how I watched
That's
it.
them.
I waited until it was free.
That's them
I think I
taking a
watched
Good,
fat.
it that
that's
was free, yeah.
smart. Yeah.
I forget who.
Do that.
where-
That's
Or how
what,
I
what they did. They took a fat turd and then they wiped it all over it. That's what
Ew.
they did. By charging $30.
Yeah, that's
and
a
they
lot.
tried throwing celebrities in there, you know, like Jet Li
Mhm.
and
Jet Li's
Remind
in
me
that?
again, was there a Mushu in
No,
the live?
no,
There was,
no,
right?
they didn't have Mushu
Yeah,
or any
so-
songs.
Yeah, so that when you were mentioning, I wanted to mention that when you were talking about the Mushu, like, right? It was you, right?
Yeah.
or the
It-
cricket.
Yeah, it was
cricket. You are
The
like
sidekick,
cricket.
sidekick.
it did. It took away a lot, and also, I mean, obviously, this isn't a review of the other one, but yeah, the other one. I just want to reiterate, that it is a horrible piece of turd.
Yes. Thank you.
Wow.
No, it really
It's
is.
hard
It's
on that.
like, okay, here's the thing. I actually experienced it the same exact way. It was just funny that who experienced it the same way because we grew up together. So we probably, we just experienced everything the same way. Yeah, I remember seeing parts of it, but never the full thing. There was many times I was watching with Josh. I was like, I've never seen this scene. I never saw the whole third act.
Yeah.
And I only saw bits and pieces of the first two. And then upon not seeing the whole thing of the original, I did see the live action. And even when I saw the live action without really seeing the original one as well, I still thought the live action was really bad. Was really bad. And then on top of that, actually watching full length the original Mulan, it only makes it worse. So much worse. It's really bad. It wasn't. Here's the thing. I hate musicals.
Oh,
that's right.
I hate
You
musicals,
do. You're very
like real
open
life
about
musicals. I can handle the cartoon Disney because that's how it was. I don't know, real life musicals, but yeah, I thought I was gonna oh, here we go. When I was watching with Josh, I was like, oh, I forgot this is a musical. Here we go. I actually, you forget. You forget that they start to sing and you forget it's a musical. It's just part of the movie and it's good.
Yeah, and I thought the songs were really good.
Yeah,
they
and
were.
there's not
They
that
really
many.
were.
There's what, three songs, right?
Maybe
It might
four.
be
It's
4.
Reflection.
A girl was fighting for be a
Girl was trying to
man.
be a man. That's it.
And then there's one more. I know there has to be.
I know
One
the
where she's
ending
getting
one.
ready.
Yeah, there's
In the
one where she's
beginning?
getting ready.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
Oh
love that
well,
song.
that's not really a musical.
not
That
like a
one's I
full
actually had
song.
notes on that.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was really funny. Yeah, when she's getting ready and
Yeah.
like in the middle of the night, it's raining, and then
Oh,
leaving
I
magic
meant
trick.
where
No,
she's
when
getting
she's
ready
getting
for
ready
to
for
meet
the
the
But she's being
matchmaker.
groomed.
Oh,
to be a match.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
I know it in
Yes,
Spanish.
it is so it is 4. It is 4 songs, but yeah. So about that when she's getting ready and leaving for war, I actually thought it was really funny that the music they chose. I had a flashback to like the 80s.
Whoa,
It
yeah,
was
you're
such an
right.
80s
You're
song,
right.
and
The
I was like,
synths,
when did this movie
the
come out?
power
98?
ballad feeling
Yes.
of it. You're
Yeah.
so right.
Yeah, I
Yes.
felt like I was
Yeah,
watching
we were
Tron.
watching it with Paul, and he was like, "This is so '90s" in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
felt like
I
I was
remember
watching
that,
Tron.
yeah, you're right. You're
But
right.
yeah, it was like it was funny.
Yeah,
seeing that in the
that's
movie.
definitely a moment of its time. But I didn't.
Yeah.
Think
Oh, but it wasn't bad or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
It was just it was funny.
Yeah.
But there are 4 songs.
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
forgot. I was like, I wouldn't count that as a song just because it's so short. But then I'm like, wait, it's really not. It's like a full song, kind of, compared like for the rest of the movie. It's like that.
And I like
Yeah.
how they in the songs, it's a lot of like character. They have a lot of character. They show Mulan and her personality, in every song, and like
Yeah,
I think they did a really good job with the storytelling of it.
yeah, I agree, and I think that it just like kind of Misa saying that like all of those have musicals, and I love musicals. And to me, in my opinion, Mulan doesn't have that many songs,
Okay.
but it has the perfect amount of songs.
Yeah.
So I think to me, I was like, yes, I like all of them. And I just, like you said, it used the music purposefully, like, to lead the story as it should. But anyway, yeah. No, I think,
And there was, I don't think this counts, at the very end when they're
Okay.
celebrating and they pop the confetti, the ancestors.
Yeah.
Does that count?
oh,
and
there's a
Mushu-
song.
Oh.
But no, I don't think
I don't
so.
think
It's
so,
not part of
but-
the story.
Yeah.
What's it called? But yeah, no, I think that another favorite part of this movie that I really liked is the relationships that she forms. Obviously, the one she has with her father, which did make me cry. Like kind of like Misa, just because, like I said, when I was a child, having no father, I was like, that's so beautiful. But then also like the relationship that she forms with Mushu. And like it's just that bond because he's an outcast, she's an outcast, and they're outcasts together.
Yeah, and Mushu,
they
I
bond.
love the moments where Mushu is talking about like, you did this to help your family. I just did this to help myself. Like
Like
I
at
was
least
very
you had a purpose.
impressed. I was
Yeah.
very impressed with
Yeah. And then the cricket's like, I'm not even lucky. You're not even lucky.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I thought was just like those type of bonds, or the bonds that she had with the three guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care that she was a woman. If anything, they were trying to defend her when they found out she was a girl. Like no, like don't kill her, whatever. And
I think they dressed up very quickly as women.
Yeah, they had that ready.
Yeah.
They had that ready.
They were
That was a
like-
little suspicious.
They
Yeah.
cross-dressed real quick.
And they were seductive.
We're learning a lot about you, John.
No, because they seduced the guards real quick.
If anything, the guards have interesting taste.
Yes.
They did not look cute.
That's funny.
They
Well,
did
hey,
not
when
look
you're
cute.
out in war,
when
you're out, they've been out in war for so long.
That's true.
That is
You're
a
not
good
gonna
point.
pass up an opportunity
I
like
guess
that.
you're right.
One of them thought it was good. The other one was like, "What are you talking
They're
about?"
like concubines, really ugly
Yeah,
concubines.
yeah, concubines.
Oh, that's
And then
right.
That's like moving
That's
his little
true,
hand,
that's
giggling.
true,
Just,
yeah.
Freak.
I don't think they were guards of the palace.
They
No.
were Shen-Yu guys.
The main
yeah,
dudes. Yeah.
So
yeah. They were bad guys.
there really is no.
They were guarding the door.
explanation.
No,
No,
technically they are because they're out.
They've
We're
been
raiding
out.
Raiding cities. Oh, you're right.
You
know.
Pillaging and
Hmm.
And doing what
Right.
raiders
Yeah.
do, I don't know.
yeah, that's true. You know what? You're right. You
That's
know
what
what?
one
They're
of them
just
said,
sick.
They're just
ugly.
sick. That's what I'm just trying to say. They're just sick.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, I'm taking their side on this one. I'm putting my foot down.
So you
I'm
find
putting
them.
my foot
Wait,
down.
so you found them attractive? That's what
This is
we're
what
coming
we're
at?
learning.
No, hold on. What we need to talk
Wait.
about? Hold on.
We need to talk about
Thunder
in
thighs.
a cartoon.
Wait.
The in a general sense.
Oh, overwhelming
Yes,
yes.
absolutely. Cartoons
What?
can be attractive. Are you
that's
kidding me?
that's weird.
What
No,
you
it's not.
mean?
What do you
I
mean?
had a crush on Shang.
You
Actually,
never
you know what? No, you
He's
know,
a
you know what? You
rock
guys
you
were
and
right.
never
guy.
saw
Have you ever been on the internet?
No, you guys were right.
you never
I've
saw
been-
Miss Incredible and thought
I recently. I recently, or every mom in Pixar.
every Pixar mom she's
I've recently been rewatching because I've been really nostalgic lately.
okay.
I've been rewatching the Justice League cartoon from DC.
Oh
now
wow.
that we have HBO Max.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, the women, the way that they picture Wonder Woman, and you know, as a kid, you're like, that explains so much.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
of what this generation is going
Yes.
through when we were children.
Yes.
Yeah.
With
Yes.
these curves and everything.
You're so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's like a
we're-
meme. There's a meme about Lilo and Stitch, like this older sister,
Oh.
and like somebody was like, it was that one meme where people are like, "What's happening to me? Why am I thinking this way?" Have you ever heard that?
No.
It's like
No.
a song that like Beyonce or I don't even know, somebody post, and then they play that as a sound, and they're watching something, and then they're like, "Why am I thinking this way?" And it was like a video of
Of Nani.
Lilo's older sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like when you think about it, why did they do this? You know?
But you know, now that you bring up Lilo and Stitch, actually, it's interesting because it's like that's set in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
they're Pacific Islanders, so it's like the fact that Lilo and Stitch could be made was largely due to the success of films like Mulan.
That's true.
You know,
That's
it
actually a
showed,
really good
it
point.
proved that Mulan could appeal to the masses. Like a non-Western story could be
Yeah.
brought to the
So
mainstream.
Mulan paved the way for Moana.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. I
Honestly,
absolutely
that
think
kind
so.
of
Mulan
does
paved the
make
way for Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch paved the way for Moana.
Well,
Lilo and
they're
Stitch
both
is very
downstream of
popular.
each
I'm
other.
just kidding. I don't know. Trying to be theoretical here.
Right. No, I think that yeah, I do agree. I think Mulan opened the doors to a lot of things, but
Mhm.
I guess also
It opened the door to the live action Mulan.
Actually,
this is my time to go.
Mulan was the first. Like, what did like Mulan was like the first.
When did
before
Aladdin
Mulan, what
come
was
out?
around? Yeah. For example, like when did Aladdin come out?
Aladdin was prior to Mulan.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But Aladdin's great. I love that movie too. Aladdin's awesome. I
Yeah,
prefer
Aladdin was in
Aladdin over
92.
Jasmine though. I just think
Like the
Aladdin's
characters?
yeah, like
Okay.
Aladdin's story is so much more interesting.
He's the main character.
But
That's why I
even
like
Aladdin,
it.
Aladdin,
Okay.
for instance, was somewhat that story of oh my gosh, what's the name of it? 2001 and One Arabian Nights.
Yeah, it's based on a book.
Yeah, that was more well known in the U.S. and in the West than
That's true.
Mulan's. Like that's more Chinese folklore. Mulan's
That
story.
is very true. Like I said, I think Mulan has a really special place in my heart. And the relationships in there are really good. I think that also for the time that it was made, I don't know Asian culture. I don't know Chinese culture. I don't know. I know there's like a bunch of videos around with people from there that like to talk about the different things from different cultures. But at least for someone who isn't, it kind of made me appreciate it. I was like, oh wow, that's really cool, because there's so much new things that I kind of learned just by watching. And now even like rewatching as an adult with a little bit more knowledge, I was like, I can appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, like the importance of family.
Yeah.
Things like that are really important.
Honor.
Yeah, honor.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. Now that you mentioned that, not to like undercut what you're saying, but there was a moment when I was in Japan.
Yeah.
During one of my first weeks there, I was talking to people and they were trying to get to know me. Like, what do you like? And I was like, movies. So we got to talking about the movies that, you know, I was like, oh, I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service, and it had a totally different name in Japan.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And, you know, they're like, oh, the Studio Ghibli is so good. And I was like, great. And Mulan. And they're like, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Mulan? And they're like, well, it mixes some things about Japanese and Chinese culture.
Yeah, I have heard that.
And I was like, oh, I didn't realize. I was like so excited. I was like, oh, they're going to love this.
Yeah,
and then
I have
was
heard
like,
that.
oh, man. So I know it sort of misses the mark on a couple things, but still, that's not to say that it didn't do.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was, because I have heard that it does mix some, like it kind of combines some cultural things. But what I was trying to say, someone like as a younger person who only thought that Mexico was the only country that existed, and Canada, I was like, there's a place
Did the
called
US
China.
not exist to you?
No, America didn't exist.
All right.
It was just Mexico and Canada. Everything else didn't happen.
Yeah, and that is good. I think that is
like,
good for kids to see.
So to me, I was like, wow, there's like another country out there. That's cool. Like to at least like that. Like I said, obviously I'm older now and I do more things. Yeah. So I think it's really cool, and I hope that kids watch this movie instead of the live action.
It's hard to say.
Because nowadays kids watch the live actions. And they don't watch the cartoon. So there's a cartoon version, and I just look at the kids.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a little girl.
Travesty.
And I'm like, oh, you've seen Mulan, right? And they're like, yeah, I watched it in theaters. And I'm like, you're 5. They were like, I loved it. And I'm like, you've never seen like the original cartoon version? She's like, there's a cartoon version? And I'm like, oh, what is this generation coming to?
We're getting old.
I was very sad because these movies are so good. And especially, I mean, I've never seen the live action. I'm not going to.
You know what I was looking for? And when I was watching this one, you know, the original, I was looking for the captain to be like, for some odd reason, so like into Ping, which is Mulan.
Yeah.
You know, because in the live action, everybody was like, is this guy like what's going on? Does he like Ping?
Yeah,
you know, like,
you're
he
right.
thinks he's a guy, but
you're right.
In the live action, the captain had like this like
Shan Yu,
like this he was always like, wanting to be nice, want to be your friend. You know, you didn't I was looking for that here. I was like, wait, they never did that in the original. I thought it
was so tasteful how they portrayed their relationship, because it's like it doesn't show them getting married in the castle, you know, like a lot of other Disney movies have in the past. You know, it's just kind of like a coy like nod, like, okay, he's gonna come over for dinner, you know. I thought that was really tasteful.
Yeah,
that's true. And I thought it was okay. This is where my girly vibes come in, right? Because she's like, there's this cool girl, whatever, and he's like yelling at her like, get away, you're a woman, blah blah blah. But then the second that she saves China, he's like, oh, you fight good. And then she's like, okay, and then she leaves, and then the Emperor's just like, you stupid, bro. And that's
that
when
was funny.
He literally has to go and like, and he's like so shy and awkward about it. I was like, oh, he's so cute.
I mean, I think it's funny though to think about it, because you understand why he's conflicted. Yes. Because he was a couple weeks ago or days ago, or hours ago, he was a man. He was a man. So like having feelings for somebody that you originally thought was a man, that must be weird. That must feel
you don't
like
think it's a pride thing, where it's like he said, "Oh, you're a woman, leave," and then now she's a woman and saves China, and then he can't just immediately be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
No, I know what I'm saying is
be like, "Oh yeah, you fight good, I guess."
No,
I can't tell you that I like you because it's awkward.
Because she broke the law, you know. So like he is conflicted in that sense, of course. But what I'm trying to say is, like, in real life, if I like for weeks hung out with somebody, this dude, and I was like, oh, what's up, whatever, and then that dude reveals himself, takes off his whatever or her makeup, and like lets her hair down and everything, and it's actually not a dude, it's a girl, and then for me to have feelings for that girl, then that would feel really weird for me. You know, I'm like, what's going on?
You really
you
put
would question,
yourself in there.
Yeah, you would really question. It's weird to think about. Like I feel like I would feel really weird.
I mean, for me, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to chime in.
I'm going to take a hard left, actually. I just need to mention this. Josh watched the I guess like the edited, like visually or you know, not like the original VHS.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying is the TV we watched it was really nice, but Disney did a good job with like
the animation looks
outstanding, with like, you know, getting it up to date. Remastering, yeah. It looked beautiful. It looked really nice. Actually, I don't know if it was part of it was the TV, but I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I was really amazed, and the
beautiful.
style of it, the way it's like kind of like an old Chinese painting.
Yeah,
and a lot of
exactly.
elements. I thought that was really sweet how they did that.
Yeah.
Speaking of things we like, you know, so I can also piggyback off of you. I like the horses. The horses. I saw something that's very interesting about the horses. And it's that the horses are like an extension of their owners.
Yes.
And they resemble the characteristics.
Really?
That's
or, like,
interesting.
their personalities. So like Shang's horse is like official and serious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Shang Yu's is like evil and malicious.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
He's like always like has like an evil grin.
Yeah.
And they're like, and it's like thicker. It's
Yeah,
like a thicker
it is.
Yes, I was
horse.
gonna say that.
And then Mulan's is like elegant and witty. It's like the
Yeah.
counterpart because
You're
Mulan's
right.
beautiful, but then his horse is like elegant, like as a man, and witty, kind of like Mulan. Is like
Yeah,
kind of
and that's
sarcastic.
something that the medium of animation does really well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's in other movies, but this movie it really stood out and it worked well. I don't know, it was just like a little touch that was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Added
thought
to
that
the
was sweet.
humor.
Yeah, I think
humorous
the
aspect.
humor too. There were so many good moments. Like, so I watched it in Spanish, but I've seen it in English as well. And like I said, Mushu just adds it that much needed balance to. They're in war, but then he's also just like really funny.
Yeah.
Every time he
Dishonor on
opens his mouth.
dishonor on your cow.
And it's like
That was such a
iconic
good line.
things, and
Good
it's just
casting,
so funny.
really good casting with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Especially
I
during that
agree.
time, Eddie Murphy was a lot bigger as well.
The whole
Yeah.
voice cast is great.
Yeah, they were all really, really good. And yeah, I think Mushu really adds on to everything. Like from the second that he wakes up
Yeah.
to the second that he's partying
Was
because
it
he
where
got
he-
reinstated as a guardian. It's just
I live.
Yeah.
What
What's
happened
up?
to the big dragon? Like he's dead.
there's theories that he's the great dragon. Mushu.
That
That's
Mushu
interesting.
is-
Like,
I like
the
that.
Super Carlin brothers, I think, have
okay.
a video on that, and then a couple other people have theories.
But
I don't know if that's true.
I
It's
feel
just
like
theories.
it goes against what you see in the movie.
Yeah, it does.
Which is
I
like
mean, I don't know.
the main elder, the main what's it called? The main
I don't know.
ancestor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he's the one that tells everybody to do everything. The one with the beard.
I've never seen the video, so I have no. I don't have like actual
He says,
like what they
"Mushu,
say.
wake up the dragon or whatever."
Yeah.
So they're two separate.
So and Mushu
entities.
used to be a guardian, because he used to be one. So I don't know who
Right,
would
he
wake
got
them up
downgraded.
before. Like who woke them up before? Obviously, at
He
this point,
he got that job. They gave him that job to be the one that wakes up.
yeah.
the
But then after
guardians.
he goes back as a guardian, Cricket becomes the one that wakes them up. Someone had to wake them up before. Who woke them up? I'm curious.
I want to say the part where they're where he's talking to the Great Stone Dragon. The Great Stone Dragon, have you awakened? And he's holding the head of the statue like, yeah, I'm good. I'm here. I'm gonna go off and save the world or whatever.
It's just the head. I mean, maybe he was never real and he never existed, or maybe they've never had to use him before.
I don't know. I really
I
don't
don't
know.
Also, would destroying his statue kill him?
I don't
That's
know.
what I asked.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't
know how that
know.
works.
He's dead now, so
Bro,
we'll
you know,
just
guys,
add it.
guys, leave a comment or DM us on Instagram. Leave a comment on YouTube.
Do you guys know about this theory? Like, what's up? Let me know. I want to know.
Please,
If
please,
the creators of Mulan are listening,
please show us your reflection.
Yeah.
I think
Also-
this movie. Oh, sorry.
No,
ahead.
go for it.
I think this movie it's one of those that I say gets away for being a cartoon or for being animated. It gets away with all the little things. Like, for example, with like the montage,
Yeah.
it can get away with the things that makes it a cartoon and that won't translate to real life, kind of like the live action did.
Yeah.
You can't. It has to be a completely different movie for it to like work well in live action. So I feel like it being animated in a cartoon, it works very well with like the little things, like the big soldier, like the big one, like the fat one, him picking up, you know, Mulan and Shang and the horse
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the little string, and all
Yeah.
the guys with him
Yeah.
are like, you know, them riding the avalanche.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like little things like that, it can get away with, and it works well because it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
like,
You're so right.
I feel like this movie, it works very well. Like they do a good job with its tone.
Yeah,
You know?
I think so too. Or like the scene with the matchmaker
Mhm.
with the tea
my
and the fire,
gosh.
and she's like, "You're worthless."
Mhm.
But it's like the lucky cricket did it. It wasn't even her.
Right.
Like if it wasn't for that cricket, maybe she would have been fine.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that cricket, then she would not have to leave
Mhm.
and become man to save her father's
Yeah.
So it was a
honor.
lucky cricket.
I know, yeah.
Oh, he is a lucky cricket.
He wasn't, but then he was.
He
Yeah.
always was lucky.
Yeah, I like that.
Or maybe it was never luck. It was just fate.
It was
Dude,
Mushu?
Do Chinese people like Mulan?
I
the
don't
movie?
know. Well,
can't
he
say.
did mention the
Like,
Japanese.
how
He
did
was
it
in
come
Japan.
out? How did it come off to them? Because I guess
I
it's
think
like
they don't
really
care.
deep. But like, what I mean is like, this is because part of the underlying message of the movie is, women.
Yeah.
Women. Obviously, women have value, but the way that they tried to implement that value.
So then,
And just like all women can't fight in war, women shouldn't, or they shouldn't fight in war, or they should do this or that. Did it come off well? Like during that's a question
during
that I
that
have.
time, you mean?
During that time, like, because
So you
was it an
mean
attack against their culture?
For the Chinese American audience or for the actual Chinese audience?
No,
in
because I'm
China?
guessing it like for China must have seen this movie.
I feel like it was okay. I'm not Chinese, but I feel like the Chinese American audience probably received it well, but the Chinese audience are like, I don't care about that.
Okay,
That's why I
okay,
feel
okay.
like
Possibly.
they
I
have
mean,
different values.
I also know like the live action, they casted Mulan as the Chinese actress. She's like
Yeah.
super famous in China. They casted her specifically because she's Chinese from there, so
Mhm.
that it would be received well. So I don't know if this original one was or wasn't, but I mean, if it wasn't, then we know that they casted this actress specifically so that it would be welcomed in China specifically.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
So
I feel like maybe the at the time, when did the original Mulan come out?
98.
98, yeah.
I feel like I don't know. Obviously, I don't know anything about
Yeah, I have no idea.
but I feel like the culture in China in '98 was different.
Maybe.
I will
is
say,
now.
it didn't do as well as Rush Hour did in China.
That's
I
funny.
mean, Jackie Chan is
That's
a
funny.
force
Well,
to
yeah,
be
Jackie
reckoned
Chan
with.
is like
Exactly.
is like a
He
hero.
is
Yeah.
a god.
national
He
hero.
is a
Oh,
god.
Jackie Chan does sing the Mandarin version of "Man Out of You."
Oh, wow.
He does.
in the Chinese Mulan,
Yeah.
like the original Mulan.
Yeah,
Interesting.
there's like a music video and everything. It's cool. It's in the bonus features if you want to check it out. It's there,
That's cool.
or it's on YouTube probably.
That's awesome.
But yeah, when we watch, because I got this movie back in the day, and I remember I watched this. I'm like, that's really cool. So,
I
yeah.
wanted to just I don't know, random thoughts came to my mind, so I keep making hard lefts. But
we like those hard
mhm.
lefts.
I think that the bad guy is I love how he's like this huge, abnormally, like obviously in the cartoon things look exaggerated. He's like this huge abnormal, like he has like spiky fingernails,
Yeah.
like spiky teeth, and
Mhm.
he's just huge, and he's just a scary looking
My
guy.
my favorite part of him was his attitude. He's
Yeah.
like, this little girl's gonna be missing her doll.
Exactly.
He's like,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like licking his lips, like ready to destroy this town. Like,
Yeah.
what, bro?
And it's scary because like he like busts through a ceiling one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's just I think that the bad guy was a really good bad guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. I think the scene where he's already on the palace, and like it just kind of he just puts his hand in the air, and then he grabs onto his sword, like right when they were like, you hear the little bird like, "Caw,"
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then it's
yeah.
like all the bad guys come out of the
Yep,
thing,
the
and then
dragon.
the sword comes out, and then he just grabs onto it from the darkness, and then he gets up, and then you're like, he made it up there, literally, and no one noticed. I thought that was cool.
I guess some people would probably say, in relation to what you're saying, Misa, is that the antagonist doesn't have, like, what's his motivation like?
I was just gonna talk about that.
But the thing is, it works. What I said about the
Yeah.
animated movie, it works well in this movie because it's just an animated movie.
Yeah.
So he's just a
just a bad guy 'cause
representation
he's
of
a bad
pure
guy.
evil. Yeah,
Yeah.
he just represents evil. We don't need to know his motivation. We don't need to know his why or how he
Yeah.
grew up
Right.
or
Mhm.
what his
Yeah,
mother and
it's
father
not
did to him.
needed.
He's just a Hun that wants to pillage and he wants to, take
Right.
over China, and he's
Mhm.
just evil and he just has hate.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that, I do agree with what you're saying in context of like it's an animated film,
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that. I was gonna say that if you notice, they didn't really provide any backstory
Mhm.
to him.
Yeah.
He's just bad because he's bad, and like
Mhm.
that's it. It doesn't waste time. I feel like
Right.
having to justify
Mhm.
why he's bad.
Yeah, I liked the length of this movie.
Yeah.
I thought
Yes.
I thought
yes,
it didn't
yes.
overstay its welcome at all.
That's true.
I
It's
thought it
just
was
right.
it was just right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
good.
and kind of like with the bad guy not having backstory, a lot of these characters don't, right?
Yeah,
the
that's true.
three French, Ling, Chow, or whatever his name
Mhm.
is, and the other guy.
And there's stuff that's left up to the audience too.
Yeah.
Like Mulan's father is injured in war, presumably. But
Yeah.
it's not like they go into some in-depth flashback or something. It's just like kind of hinted at, little by little throughout the movie.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like your father is the great Fasu.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like a really respected soldier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, no wonder he don't want you. You're embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Things like that, and it's true. Or even
Yeah.
Shang and his own father. I
Mhm.
feel like there's a lot of like child and father relationships
Mhm.
here, and like with like, you don't even know they're related until like he
Right.
leaves and he's like, oh, father. So like when that scene of like that, it breaks from like goofiness to like everyone's dead.
Mhm.
It hits hard because that's Shank's, not just the
Yeah.
entire army, but that's
Yeah,
his father.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And that
like
was-
his
that was a
father
really
just
strong
died,
moment.
and
Yeah.
and now he has to leave the only people left to protect China, who are like what 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
they're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
prepared. Realistically, they're not
Mm-hmm.
compared to a huge army. Now they have to go against this ginormous army, which is like when they're coming down, and they know that they're gonna die, and they're like, if we die, we're doing it for China
With
or
honor.
with honor
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And they know they're gonna die instantly. So it's
Mhm.
like this whole time, this guy's had to deal with the fact that his father died. They're about to die. It's like But
Yeah.
Mulan's cool when she the
Yeah, it's
avalanche.
her cunning, her mind
Yeah.
is like the most important part.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
that was really cool that she did that, and that was a scene too, like that I really like because like the music changes, then everything's like stakes are high.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone might die from this. Is it worth it? Yeah, it was, which I think was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Is there anything you didn't like about Mulan?
let me think.
Yeah, you mentioned there was things that
Yeah,
you
I think one of them was definitely the montage. Just watching it again, I was like, it felt a little quick because my sister and I were trying to figure out how much time passed.
Mhm.
Okay.
The only thing I did notice was the flower, right? Because when the movie starts, the flower hadn't bloomed yet, and when the movie ends, that flower fell off.
Mm.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I remember
So
that.
it could have been a season, maybe not a full year, but definitely enough for the flower to not bloom yet, and then when she comes back, it falls off.
Okay.
So it might have been like spring.
I hadn't considered that.
So that's the only thing that I kind of maybe saw passage of time. But
Mhm.
that was the one thing that I was like, I feel like they didn't really, like, we don't know how long it was. Was it a year? Was it 6 months? Was it
For
a
me,
month?
it's like how long did it take for the Huns to go across
yeah,
China
like
to where they
things
wanted
like
to
that.
attack?
Mhm.
Like, kind of like you said,
Would
it
it
is
be
a
a
little.
whole season that it takes them?
Right. I
Yeah.
don't know. So it's like, it's a little bit nitpicking, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
I
exactly.
noticed it. So I
Mhm.
was like, could I have done maybe a little better? Sure.
Mm.
Changing the flowers to no flowers left, right? Like, it's a little bit longer time, sure.
Right.
But and I think besides that, okay, it's not that he's bad. I just don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, the advisor to the emperor.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That
His
would
voice actor is
He's annoying.
perfect because it's like annoying.
Yeah,
I
no,
forget that
he's
actor's
great.
name.
He's just
Yeah.
so freaking annoying.
Yeah.
But besides that, also one more thing
Mhm.
before we like.
So actually, that's a comment then. I mean, that's a compliment then,
I
because
guess.
that's their goal. He's
I guess
supposed
that's
to be.
true.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to hate him.
Mhm.
So the fact that you do technically only speaks well of the movie.
I guess that's a good point.
Mhm.
Sorry.
What were you gonna
No,
say?
you're right. Also, Mushu saved the war. I just want to put that out there, because he's the one that made up that note to go help them out.
Oh,
But they
yes,
were dead
yes.
already.
Yeah,
so
you're
I was
right,
thinking
yeah.
about that.
I'm
Yeah,
just
that's true.
saying.
That's a really good.
Oh, that's
point.
one of the examples of like things that it can get away with by being a cartoon.
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
the panda.
not just that, but like when his whole torso
Yeah.
turns around, you know, and then there's like hair coming out of the body.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, in real life, but then I have to remind myself, this is a cartoon, like, you know.
Yeah.
It
it's-
Yeah, that's
works.
funny.
and
Yeah.
it works, which
Uh-huh.
is you know, one of the things I'm learning lately, because I was one of those people that I want to see everything live action, mainly because I got that mentality from like the superhero movies.
Okay.
I want to see every superhero in real life. I want to see the version of it.
Mhm.
But it is true, like learning, Disney has taught this.
Yes,
Right.
They've taught it well.
There are some things that are not meant to be movies. You know, for
Live
example, like live action. For example, you know, when you think about Dragon Ball Evolution, I know that they, you know, sure they could have done a better job, but
Mhm.
here's the thing: when I watched, I went with Hila to watch
Oh yeah, Broly.
to watch Broly, and I enjoyed that movie so much in the theater,
Mhm.
and it was, you know, great graphics and everything, but it was still like very much cartoonish.
Yeah.
Or not cartoonish, but it was
Animated.
a cartoon.
Mhm.
It's just like this would never work. Like the hair, you know, the
Yeah.
you know, the hair, like
Yeah.
you would
Yeah.
never be able to make that a live action and it look good.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
can't do that. So there are, and you know, obviously, like, you know, I don't know if this is like spoiler or my opinion for like Mortal Kombat, but like just it doesn't work. Like, you know, even when they have a great budget, it doesn't really. There are some things that are meant to be what they are, and I feel like with Mulan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you know what, overall, this was a good movie.
Yeah.
This is my first time watching this movie. Obviously, like, for example, you could think, oh, you know, she's watched all her life, so she's biased. But I've only watched this once, really. And this was a good movie.
Mhm.
It really was a good movie. Like, it was a cartoon. It had musical, when, you know, things that I normally don't like. But it was actually, I really enjoyed it. It didn't
Yeah.
overstay its welcome. I actually really much.
Awesome.
Really
Yeah, that's
enjoyed
good
the
to
movie.
hear.
I'm
That's a
glad.
good summary.
Yeah, I think you did it perfectly. Like, I knew I was going to be biased. And that's kind of why I was glad to obviously have Josh and Hube watch them. And
Mhm.
also have Misa, because once he said it, like, I never really seen it before. I was like, excuse me, what? You've never really seen it before? I was
Mhm.
like, that would be a good balance.
Yeah.
Turns out Josh had never really seen. No, you've seen it before,
Mhm.
right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I had it
Hube
on
hadn't
VHS.
either. So I was like,
Mhm.
this is great, because I feel like it'll balance my very biased view of this
yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But no, I'm really glad we watched this. It was a very nice time rewatching it in Spanish
Nice.
as well, and just very nostalgic, and it made my young heart very happy.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I have to feel like I've said everything I needed to say.
Cool.
Stay with me.
Nice.
I'm a thumbs up for Mulan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a highly recommend for me if you
Yeah,
haven't seen
same.
it. For
If
sure.
you haven't seen it, you've only seen the live action.
Oh my god.
Excuse me, you need to go watch that the
definitely.
animated right now. Like,
yes.
don't even finish this episode. Just go
But
watch
Donnie
it.
Yen is Shang.
Who? I don't know who that is.
He's just the popular. He's Ip Man.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
who?
Ip
I
Man.
don't recognize that name.
I don't know who that is.
Ip Man.
Man?
No.
The
We all
man-
say it as if it's gonna trigger a memory.
The man
Ip
that we are guys.
Wait.
It's just a Chinese martial arts movie.
Oh.
It's called
Ip
the
Man.
guy that trained Bruce Lee. right?
I
Ip Man.
Yeah,
don't know.
When I say supposedly, like, is that a fact? That's a fact, right?
I think it is.
Oh, okay. Sure. All right. Any last minute?
Sure.
You know what? I do have one last minute
Oh
thing.
gosh,
up?
what is that?
I think this is weird. I'm trying to word it. I like that this movie was made before hysteria of like a lot of things, you know. So, you know, with Disney, especially when Mulan was in the lake, and I thought that was a really funny scene, by the way.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When she was in the lake or in the pool or like the pond or whatever. And then a bunch of guys jump in there. Like,
Oh,
how would
yes.
that, if that movie was made
Right,
today,
right today, then
where it's
Yeah.
like,
how would people
you know,
react
okay,
to
yeah,
it.
they don't show anything, but you know they're naked. and they are in the pond. They're like right next to her, and she's like, submerged in the water. I'm like, when you think about it, this is a children's movie. When you think about it, like, would that be appropriate today?
And I think,
but the thing is that I that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think people today would make a big deal of that, or they would never even make that to begin with. But that's why I like this movie, because it's like that.
It's
you see what they're saying. You're like, it's like, I don't know how to explain
It's a funny scene. It doesn't overdo it.
And when she's like, I don't ever want to see a naked man again.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
all
I
the guys
stand by
the
it.
guys.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not doing. Don't look at me.
And you see her eyes are like dead inside. She's like,
she's like, no.
Yeah.
And then Mushu like did her the most like biggest favor
oh
by
my
biting
gosh.
his butt.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so funny.
You
Oh,
bit
yeah,
his
and he was like
butt?
brushing his
His
teeth.
teeth. He's like, don't look at me. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's like King of the Rock, huh? Pushes him off the rock.
That's all I wanted
That's
to say.
really funny.
That
No,
was,
that's
that was
good.
my last
Mhm.
little.
No, that's good. What
That was
about
good.
you,
I
Josh?
liked it.
One thing that I didn't like, probably the biggest thing I didn't like, was the sound effects of the movie. At the
Okay.
start, I thought the sound effects were hilarious.
Okay.
Like Mushu getting kicked out of the temple and then him skidding like a car or like a tire,
Oh.
or like the chicken squawking. I was like, oh man, this is great. But by the end of it, I was like, okay, we've heard this hawk squawk every time it shows up. It's the same
Yeah, that's.
sound effect.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember
Yeah,
that
that's fine.
constantly.
Or like things that I was kind of annoyed at, and it's throughout the entire movie. The sound effects were really prevalent to me.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, as a kid's movie, like, I get it. But
Yeah.
it's just, once you hear it, you can't, like, stop
Unhear
hearing
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that same sound effect,
I
or
did
the
hear
horse
it a
sound
lot.
effect, like the same horse walking up and neighing sound effect,
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not a big. It's just a nitpick
Yeah.
at this
I
point.
feel that.
Mhm.
I feel that. All right. Well, I feel like we've gotten to that closing sentiment.
I liked having
And-
Misa here, and he had a lot
Yeah.
to say. which is
Yeah,
great.
thanks for joining us.
I wasn't sure.
That was our first
No,
guest.
What I was gonna
I was
say.
so happy to have Misa here. I hope he didn't hate it. I hope he had a good
No.
time.
I was asking Hila, how do you know like when to talk? I hear you guys
Yeah,
do
it's
it,
just like a normal conversation we're just having.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
now that I'm here, it does it.
You
It
just
makes
know.
sense.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you're our first guest. I feel like also it kind of led the conversation because don't get me wrong, I love you both guys and I love myself equally. But sometimes having someone else, it just kind of adds, a new voice. It
Yeah.
adds new ideas. It was really, really nice.
Cool.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll have more guests or he can
So you
return.
want
Yeah.
me to leave
Yeah.
map?
What?
Misa can be.
I could. You want me to
third
take
map.
over the whole thing?
It would
it's just gonna be
Misa now.
Yes, you.
It won't
It's
even
just
be us.
good.
It would
Next
just
map
be him.
episode. My name is Misa,
Misa Amigos podcast.
Misa Amigos.
and with me I have Misa and Misa.
And then you record 3 different versions of yourself.
I have a conversation.
Yeah, I thought
That's
that part
gonna
of
be a lot
Interstellar
of
was
work.
crazy. Yeah, me too. What?
That's the definition of a mental breakdown.
Technically, I can
Jeez.
play Hubit's voice.
Oh. And then you can do a really high pitched voice.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
be a
right.
girl version of you.
Yeah, that's good. Just
Hey,
like those
We're going down the rabbit
infiltrating-
hole, guys.
Yeah.
We've created a whole new alternative universe. Anyway, well, guys, obviously this was a little bit longer, but we had an extra voice, which was really, really fun. And I'm just glad we overall had a great time. So make sure to like this episode, share it, watch Mulan, please, the original, check it out. Or if you haven't watched any of the animated Disney movies, watch them
Mhm.
before you watch the live actions. And yeah, thank you. Share, like. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please, I'm begging you, leave a review.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
It would be awesome. If you don't want to, it's fine. But it's just nice to hear what you guys like. And if you don't like something, let us know as well.
Yeah.
Find us on Instagram, on YouTube. Leave a comment, send us a DM. And once again, thank you guys for listening to us. We're surprised that people listen, but because we only literally do this for ourselves. It's so fun, and the fact that at least one person's listening, it's awesome. Thank you guys again for everything, and hopefully we can make more episodes.
Oh yeah.
Thank you again, Misa, for being here.
Thank you for
We're
having me.
very excited, and hopefully maybe you can return for, I don't know, maybe Interstellar. That would be great. And I think that's it. I hope you guys
Awesome.
have an awesome, amazing afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And until next time,
I love you.
bye. Bye.
Don't stop.
Recording.
Believing.
What is
It
my
recorded the whole way.
reflection show?
Okay, everybody got it open?
Yeah.